there, I'm Tasha.
And I'm Fallon.
And together, we're the hosts of No Roadmap with Tasha and Fallon.
It's a podcast where two black women have real, random talks.
We cover everything from hobbies to relationships, pop culture, and social issues.
We don't shy away from the tough conversations, but we also like to have fun and be ourselves.
So join us every other Thursday as we share our thoughts, stories, and experiences.
You never know where the conversation might take us, but we promise it will be worth it.
No roadmap, just real random talk.
So what do you say, Tasha? Are you ready to hit record and get started?
Let's do it, Fallon. Let's give the people what they want. Hello, and welcome to another fun episode of No Roadmap with Tasha and Fallon. I'm Tasha.
I'm Fallon.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
So today's episode, we will be focusing on hair.
Long, beautiful hair.
Thank you. The journey of hair. We're calling it hair today, gone tomorrow.
Which is funny because I just took out my extensions.
Yes.
And my daughter's like, Mommy, where's all your hair? I'm like, in the trash.
It's on the floor, baby. It's on the floor.
Mommy, is this your new hair? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Are you going to put it in? No. This time I'm going to pay someone.
We pay the people.
Well, sometimes I pay the people.
Sometimes I pay the people. Sometimes I do my own.
Right.
Yeah.
A guy in my office, he is, I believe, Venezuelan. Mm-hmm. And he dates a black woman. And he's like, yeah, wash day. That's a day.
Come on
and
now.
I'm like, I'm glad you realized.
When you understand the assignment. This is what I love about learning new things about cultures and people.
Right.
So my husband is Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first started dating, I did the whole cute thing. Like, I didn't wrap my hair at night. I wouldn't wear my silk scarf. I wouldn't wear my bonnet. And then probably, I don't know, maybe a month into that, and getting frayed ends and my edges were looking. I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this. So let me introduce you to some things about me that you may not have known. I don't wake up like this.
Right.
So he had to learn the importance of the silk scarf,
right,
the wrapping of the hair. This is back when I relaxed my hair.
Right.
So I was literally wrapping my hair around
you were
my head.
better than I was.
So that in the morning, I could just shake it out and keep it moving and grooving. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, it was a not a culture shock, but it was an education.
Yes.
And then the first time I wore weave, which was years into our relationship, because remember once upon a time, I think I touched on this.
Right.
In another episode where weaves were taboo.
Right.
Like, people wore them, but it was always like,
no,
this is my hair.
Right.
This is my hair. And it's like, no, it's not, girl. I just saw you. You and I both know you got some tracks up in there.
It's mine because I paid for it.
It's mine. Visa says it's mine. So it's mine, right? So the first time I wore weave, oh my God, we were probably together maybe 5 or 6 years, because I didn't, I was really adamant for years I wasn't going to ever wear a weave. I'm not going to wear a weave because it was so taboo. And now I wear them all the time. They're amazing. I love them. I don't know why I never wore them before. But anyway, and so he had to help me take out my tracks.
Oh.
And he was just like, it was a jungle and he didn't know where to start. It was the craziest maze to him ever. Let me tell you something. This man is proficient.
God bless you.
And taking out of the tracks. At all kinds of tracks. The sewn-in tracks, the micro links. He helps. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would never let my husband touch my hair.
Girl.
He is white and barely brushes his own hair.
Well, he doesn't have to brush his hair.
Well, now it's long.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, and it is beautiful and glorious. I'm like, but honey, you gotta do something with it.
The hair.
And we have a daughter. Heaven forbid he have to brush her hair or wash it. I'm like, nope, forget it. I'll handle it all. So why would I let him touch my hair?
So that was the other thing too, right? Because we also have a daughter. And once upon a time, there was a time or two when I left them to go do something and he wanted to take her out. Well, you can't just take her out all willy-nilly. We don't do that.
No.
So I'm gonna need for you to go and get the spray bottle and get her brush. And there are some ties, some scrunchies. Parted down the middle, 2 ponytails. You can't go wrong with 2 ponytails. And he was just like, how am I gonna look? Alan's face says otherwise. Alan's face says, you can go wrong with just 2 ponytails.
My husband can't even do the one. He's so not good with, like,
Is it the
manual dexterity?
Okay.
He doesn't have fine motor skills like that.
No.
So he's like...
He doesn't wear his own hair in a ponytail?
I do it.
You put his hair in a ponytail?
I do.
I mean, I say that like with so much incredulity, but I also do my husband's hair. So. Well, so he had to learn.
Yes.
Because we have a daughter and I'm not always going to be there.
Right.
So you had to learn how to do something. And it was just the cutest thing to see a dad with
I
these
love
little
it.
sausage fingers trying to work these little hair ties around it. Yeah. So it was really cute. So he graduated from the girl's hair to my hair because I was in a bind one night and I said, I have to take these tracks out. I need your help. So he goes and he gets his little handy dandy headlamp.
Stop it. Mm-hmm. Oh, the visual.
I have a picture of it. I'll show it to you when we're done. He gets his headlamp. He turns on the light.
Does he have the magnifying glass? 'Cause that would be hysterical to have like...
No, he had the reading glasses.
Yeah, there
at
it is.
the tip of his nose, right? There we go. See?
Exactly. You just flip it down.
We need to have video. You have to see pantomiming the flipping down those said magnifying glass. But anywho, and he gets his pliers, his needle nose pliers, and he unloosens the micro link, and he takes his handy dandy scissors and he cuts the thread. He goes, "Oh look, a track done."
That's fantastic. He's so proud.
In the air like it was a flag.
So proud.
Oh my gosh! But the same thing with my braids. Mm-hmm. He helps me pick out wigs. You know, he understands that, and it took a minute for him to understand that hair changes my personality.
Yes,
it can change how I feel about myself. And I think even he at some point like became obsessed with the natural hair. Once I stopped relaxing my hair and started wearing it in its natural state, you know, now he has requests.
Right.
Can I request that you wear an afro today? Oh, I love it when you do the 2 braids down the side. Those are called cornrows.
I love it.
And he's like, yeah. Can you do the 2 cornrows? They're so cool. Yes. And now he's cornrow in his hair because he's growing it out.
I love it.
So I was like, I challenged him, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. I said, but I can cornrow that. And he was like, no, you can't, because his hair is bone straight.
Right.
He's like, no, you can't.
Then there's no grip.
It'll never catch.
Right.
Challenge accepted. Not only did I cornrow that baby, but I had like, you know, the 3 cornrows, and then I did the 5 cornrows, and I did the one. When I did the 1 cornrow to make it look like a little mohawk, lost his mind.
That's fantastic.
It was the best thing ever.
Because it's the undercut, right, with the long on the top. I love that look.
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic.
So he's like, I look like a Viking.
Yes.
Do you? So let's talk about natural hair, because when was the last time you relaxed your hair? Have you ever relaxed? I'm assuming
yes.
you did.
I got my first relaxer. I was 11, 12. And my mom bought the Just for Me little kids relaxer, which was, it should not have been a thing. But my hair, you just experienced my hair today.
Y'all, it is thick and glorious. And I can't wait to get my hands on, do some little 2-strand twist and take it out and fluff it with an afro pick. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing.
So the Just For Me kit did nothing.
It just wasn't for you.
It was not.
Just not for me.
So we had to go to a professional, and I relaxed my hair up and through until I got into college. And in college, I went to school in
What years did you go to college?
2020, and I left in 2022.
2000? 2002? 2020?
I'm lying.
I was going to say.
I have no sleep, guys. I am so sorry. I'm running on 4 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
2000.
Because now I'm doing the math, and I'm like, no.
2000 to 2002.
Okay.
If Alan loves me, he'll edit that out. No, he won't. He'll leave it in
He'll
and laugh.
fix it in post.
He will not. He will laugh about this forever.
Look, he is like, I'm about that life. He'll leave all these bloopers in. But as you were.
But there was no one to do black hair because I was living in the Great White North. And so I just let it go. And it was kind of wild and crazy. And I didn't wear bras. And I was in Birkenstocks. And I was just like a child of the forest.
That's a season.
It was. And then I came back home and I was like, ooh, I got to do something.
And you came home and reality slapped you in the face and said you tried it.
Right, and no, that's not a thing. So I came back and got it relaxed again, but I went to places that weren't used to the thickness of my hair, and they fried it. And so I went to finally a black hair care place, and they're like, honey, we have to shave it.
Yeah.
So they shaved the entire back of my head, because it was like you would put it up to the light and you could see through it. And so they shaved the back of my head, and I had the long in the front, kind of almost like T-Boz, but not asymmetrical. I should have done that. I should have really leaned into that. But I didn't. Then it grew out again, and then I got lazy, and then I got a texturizer, which is just like a soft relaxer.
I was going to say, it's just a more mild.
Yeah, no one tells you that, but then my curl pattern was beautiful, because I have 4C, capital C.
Yeah.
Right. And like Roman numeral 4. So I loved that, but keeping that up, it's hard to get the same curl pattern regularly when you're just trying to set the new growth. So then I just gave it up, and I just went for it. And my husband was there for the whole transition, and he's like, this is wild. He's like, I don't understand anything. And so, like, if I go get my hair done and get it straightened, do not let me look at water.
Right.
I'm not doing any physical activity.
Don't look at water.
I'm not.
Don't think about water. I don't want to hear it running.
Nope. That is me. That is when I am made of sugar, and I will melt. So moving on. There was one, he likes the afro when I like pull it out and it's big, but it's not even enough because it's...
You have to shape it. I have to have my girl cut my afro into a shape.
But I have different curl patterns on my head.
We all do.
And
your 4C in the back, your 4A in the front. It's like, what is happening? Yeah.
So, one day I was walking downtown Montclair, and I had my hair out, and I lived my best life, and I'm bopping along. And I look around and people have umbrellas, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I look up, and the rain finally hits my face because my hair is so thick.
You didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it. It was like my own little umbrella. And we laugh about it all the time.
Your hair is very thick.
Very thick. It managed to get back.
I can't even imagine it being.
It's
that damaged.
Isn't it? It was rough, but I got it back to a good space. Yeah. And I started using good products and not fiddling with
products
it often.
Products are important.
Oh my gosh, so important.
Yes,
like
the products you use are very important.
I need the moisturizer. I do own a hair dryer.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, the little one.
Okay.
Because I don't blow dry my hair. I don't have that kind of energy. But I do have a Rev Air. When I'm feeling saucy, it's a reverse hair dryer. And so it's like a vacuum cleaner basically. And you put your hair in, it sucks it in and dries it that way, but it gives you more stretch.
Dries it in straight, like I was going to say, maybe straightens it a little bit. Okay.
Yes. I will bring it over one day.
Please
we can play with it. Now, I spent way too much money, y'all. I got it when it was brand new, and it was...
And like, you don't use it?
Shh. Focus.
Okay.
And so, $400 I paid for this. You know what?
$400 American dollars?
But I think it was $50 off. So
gag.
And
that's with the discount.
Jesus. But I lend it out to my sister.
Okay.
I lend it out to friends.
So it gets used.
It does get used. Okay. And so I feel like I'm contributing to other people and their convenience. Especially my sister, she's in college, she's doing like her thing, so it's one less thing she has to worry about. And I use it on my daughter's hair now, so it's really awesome.
All right, so
you're gonna have so much fun with that.
Okay, I can't wait.
I have like 3 flat irons. I only know where one is. I never use it.
I was gonna say, do you even use heat on your hair?
I do not. I don't have that kind of time.
Because your hairline is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Envious.
Well, I also had
this
to grow
is like no roadmap right here.
Oh my gosh,
no roadmap.
When they never tell you about pregnancy hair.
Oh, yes. Oh, I have a story for that.
So when I got pregnant and my hair was like, you think it's luscious now? It was living a third life.
Come on
then.
Now.
It was just like, oh, I'm great. And
oh, Diane.
Yeah, but I still put in my micro locks because I was bored and whatever. And then you have the child and then the hair starts falling out.
Yeah, it does.
In clumps.
Yes, it does.
And it's just like, oh my gosh. And then like I'm losing my hairline and my grandmother, bless her, she's like, where's all your hair? And I'm like, you see this? This is the child that I just had. This is why. You should know this, Grandma. You had 6. Wow. I'm like, why are you acting like this is a mystery? So
because they didn't know what it was then.
Yeah, no one warned you.
No one knew enough about it to know what it was. When I had my daughter, after I had my daughter, I remember this so vividly. It was the night before her first birthday party. And I decided to relax my hair. Back when I was relaxing my hair. And at the time, I was relaxing my hair every 6 months.
Oh, that's not a lot.
No, it's not. Because the way my hair was growing back then, I could blow dry it, flat iron it, and it would hold for a while.
Right.
So I decided to relax my hair the night before this big first birthday party. And I'm in the shower washing the relaxer
No,
out.
no,
and
I don't want to hear it.
feeling something hit my legs. And I'm like, what is that? It was my hair.
Oh.
I jumped out of that shower so fast. My husband, who was dead asleep, and I'm shaking the life out of him. And he's like, what's the matter? And I'm like, my hair's coming out. And I'm bawling.
Of
I had
course.
the freezer storage bags full of hair.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what did I do? I hadn't done anything differently than I had done before. I
Right.
didn't understand how tender
Yes.
and how affected your hair is
After you-
postnatal.
Right.
Because no one tells you.
No one tells you. Like, you're supposed to keep up your prenatal vitamins afterwards because there's things that help you keep
No
your...
one tells
No one
you
tells you
that.
this stuff. So
So
we're
I
here to
didn't
tell
know.
you. That's why people should listen. We're going to tell you things you don't know
You're
about.
going to learn some things today. Keep up with those prenatal vitamins after
Right.
you had that baby. So at least it gives your body, I guess, a chance to sort of re-regulate itself.
Right.
And yeah.
Right.
Because I was distraught.
And get those hair and nail vitamins. Those actually work.
Really?
They do great work.
Okay, cool.
So things like that we should
Yeah.
write a book. You know,
Well, you should write a book. I'll write it.
you write it for me.
I'll write it for you.
I'll just tell the stories. I
You
just
tell
need
the
someone to do the
stories.
work.
That's it. I'll have write a book.
But I also haven't had a haircut in years. I don't get my. I have my cousin like give me a shape up in the back. But that's about it.
Every 5 years or so, every 5 or 6 years or so, I'll do something different to my hair. I get bored.
You get bored? Oh, well,
do.
you say something different. I mean,
Something different, like, I'll cut it. I'll chop it. Much to my husband's dismay, because he wants to see, like, I think he just wants me to never cut it to see how long it can get.
right?
But then I cut it and he's like, oh, that's cool. I love that.
Really?
Yeah, but he has to come around to it. But every like 5 years or so, and my stylist, Tiffany, hi Tiffany, at Tiffany's Hair Studio in Spa in Belleville, New Jersey. Quick little plug. Every now and then we'll sit down and like, what can I do? How can I change it up? So a few years ago, I did the big chop. And I cut it all off, and I had like, the long on top and the shade size, and she colored it, and I had blondes and some really light browns. It was really cute. It's my headshot.
Yeah,
picture.
I love it.
It was really, really cute. A few years before that, when I was natural, my hair wasn't in its natural color, because I don't even know what my natural color is at this point. I'm always doing something. I did like remember when Halle Berry first popped up on the scene ever ago, and she had the cutest little haircut? So I did like something similar to that, except very like the T-Boz.
Right.
I had the Aaliyah. Where
Aaliyah with the side swoop.
Yes, was swooping and covering my eye, because when you're trying to be cute and sexy, you gotta have just the one eye out.
Obviously.
Who needs to see while they're driving? So I always do something, and that was the last time I had relaxed my hair, actually.
Wow.
My girl talked me into trying it naturally, because the relaxers were really eating at my hair, and it had gotten really thin, and I was in between stylists.
Right.
And a stylist too, I don't know about dudes, and I'm sure you go to your barber because your barber knows what you like, but a stylist to me is like a doctor.
Yes.
I won't go to just any stylist. It has to be a referral, usually. And then once you find one you like, through thick and thin, y'all are staying together. Now, my current stylist was one of those things where I just happened to be walking by her shop. I was living in Belleville at the time. There were no black hairstylists in and around the area, unless you went to like Bloomfield, Newark, the surrounding towns.
Right.
And she happened to be right across the street from my daughter's elementary school. And I walked in one day off the street and was like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. So happy to see a familiar quote unquote face. How much are your services? And she's like, I don't do anything without doing a hair consult. Had me at hair consult.
You're hysterical.
Because no one consults you
Right.
on what your hair is, or the
What it
business
does,
of your hair, what it does.
Right.
And so she was like, yeah, we have to do a hair consult. I sat down and she did this thorough hair consult, and she explained everything. Girl, that's my boo now. We besties.
It's so funny.
We besties now.
I'm not that person who keeps a hairstylist, because I don't do my hair often enough. Like, if I want just like a silk press, actually, I do go to my place in Clifton, Sheer Essence. You guys are amazing. Haven't been to in a while. But that was a referral from my cousin.
Right.
And I like them. But normally, I just, again, don't go to do my hair if I get like my hair braided. I have my African braiding spot, AMA, in Montclair. That's my normal spot. But I just learned recently that the reason why when you go get your hair braided and they want your hair like washed and stretched is because you need a license to even wash hair.
Yes.
Which, what? So a lot of them don't have licenses because you don't have to be licensed to braid hair.
Right.
So they don't bother. But I'm going to a new spot today. I won't name drop them yet until I see what their services are like. And if I really like them, I'll blow them up later.
Yeah.
But getting my hair done has always been like, whatever. I didn't do the big chop. When I stopped relaxing it, I just let it go.
So did I.
And trimmed it a little bit.
I didn't
and then
do the big chop for 6 years.
Yeah.
For 6 years. I stopped relaxing my hair in 2012, but I did the big chop in 2018.
Yeah.
So at that point, even though I wasn't relaxing my hair, I was still wearing weaves and braids and was still putting heat on my hair. But in 2018, I went like 2 years without, I went 2 years without any heat at all because I was just washing and two-strand twisting and keeping it moving.
Exactly.
But I find stylists are like doctors. Like, you have your cardiologist, and then you have your gastroenterologist, and you have your gynecologist, and you have your primary care.
I love it.
So my stylist is my primary care, but then I have the girl who does my braids.
Right.
She's my cardiologist.
I can't with
straight,
you.
You know what I mean? How do you feel about this cultural appropriation when you see people, and I'm doing cultural appropriation in quotes.
You know what? It's a visceral reaction when my body tells me if I'm okay with it or not. I don't know why that is, because he's making a face. It's one thing if you're like, I'm on vacation and some little white girl wants to get her hair braided. God bless you, honey. Those women want to braid your hair. It's easy work for them because it's not my hair. And
you're not going to sleep for 2 days because you're not going to be able to close your eyes.
So when I go to Jamaica and they're like, can I braid? I'm like, no, not with this mess. You don't want to touch this. They were like, I would love to. I'm like, we'd be here for the rest of our lives. Go talk to the other little girl. If you are not used to getting your hair braided and you're on vacation, make sure you put sunscreen on your scalp because that will burn and blister.
Yes, it will.
Just so you know. But people who wear the braids and they're seen as edgy and, so hip and so cool. But if I wore it, I wouldn't get hired. Or if I wore it, I'm looked at as less than. There's something about it that hits my gut differently.
Yeah.
Like, why should you get celebrated for wearing your hair the way I wear my hair every day?
Right.
That's not fair to me.
So when the Kardashians were wearing their hair in the cornrows, all the,
I don't love cornrows on me, so I'll let you have that.
So you can have that because I don't care.
Yes, because I'm not rolling around like that, so you can have that.
But then where do you feel like the debate comes in when people say how black women were relaxing their hair to give it more of a European look for years before the natural hair movement came into play? Where do you land on that?
Years ago, it's so funny that you bring that up because the first time I ever got a weave, I was going on a business trip to California, and I didn't want, because I wasn't relaxing then, and I didn't want to worry about doing my hair while I was away, so I got my first weave. I hated it.
Really?
Did not like it at all.
Why?
It was itchy. It was heavy. It was
bad hair. That was just bad hair.
Well, I'm not doing it again.
I mean, fair.
I will rock some extensions though, because I did that because I did keratin for a while. I remember when the keratin treatments were like the hot to do. I did that for a while because it was less invasive. Is that the word?
But it's pretty much the same.
It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. It was less damaging for my hair. It actually came out really good. And then I put like clip-on extensions in. I did it for my wedding.
Okay.
And it actually did very well for that.
But yeah, I got a weave so I could go and do business things and not worry about people looking at me because my hair was natural. But the job I just recently got, I roll up with my hair in my, twists. I roll up with my, braids and whatever. And I'm more comfortable now.
Yeah.
I am more...
open.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not as self-conscious as I used to be.
Okay.
This is who I am. Mm-hmm. And especially when I do events and stuff, I walk in, this is who I am. And if you don't like it, that's your problem.
Right.
I can still feel the sting of the decades, the generations of why Black women had to straighten their hair.
And I think that's the part of the conversation people don't look at when the accusation is thrown at you.
Right.
You feel some way about other people, other cultures wearing cornrows and dreads
Right.
and locks, but for years, your people relaxed your hair.
We had to.
We had no choice.
Right.
If we wanted to be gainfully employed,
Right.
if we wanted to be taken seriously.
Exactly.
There was an expectation, unfair as it is.
Right.
There wasn't an expectation.
We had to suffer the hot comb. I suffered the hot comb. Oh my gosh.
Sunday mornings.
Ooh, the
Going
smell
before
of
church.
the hair and the grease.
Just hearing the sound.
Just-
You want to talk about upbringing and triggers.
Yes.
That's a trigger for to hear the sound of a hot comb going through hair that has fresh grease on.
That sizzle.
That sizzle. Cooking. Talk about
Right.
cooking my hair.
I'm like, hold your ear or else you're going to get burned.
Girl.
And
Yes.
I've got some crispy ears a couple of
Yes,
times.
listen. And don't let your mama do it on a Sunday when she went out Saturday night with her friends and hung out and
Stop
woke up
it.
tired but knew you had to be in church
Right.
because you were singing in the choir.
Right. Nope.
Ah. And
my
be
gosh.
impatient and pop you with that comb.
It's not and the suffering that went along with doing all of that all the
Yes,
time.
all the time.
It's exhausting.
Crazy.
And so I think people forget that there's a theory that generational stress or learned stress that you carry the stress of your ancestors on you and what they've done.
Right.
Because not only is it that they teach you these stressors, is that their bodies become accustomed to the excess cortisol, which breeds into the next
I was going to
generation.
say, there's another theory about DNA trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why when someone wears hair like cornrows and they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, you look great. And if I wore it, I was ghetto and I was not good enough.
Right.
And I couldn't be gainfully employed.
Yes.
That's where the trigger is coming from.
I understand that. You know, my girlfriend is an attorney and a corporate attorney at a medical facility. I forget the name.
Whatever. We made it up.
Anyway, I don't know. I forget. Don't sue me, RKP. And our other friend and I talked her into going that. Now she has, just like you, very thick, curly coiled hair.
Right.
And for years, she was a slave to the relaxer. Gorgeous no matter how she wears her hair, but she was really resistant to wear her hair naturally because she's a lawyer. And
Right.
she's in corporate America. And she's like, I can't walk into a meeting with an afro. Why can't you?
Right.
Absolutely you can. She's like, I don't know. So, you know, we had to talk her into it, but along with her stylist. And they've been on that journey together, and she loves it. And I don't think at this point it affects her professionally the way it would have 10 years ago.
Have you seen that video? It's like a news report, and it's a black woman and a white guy, and they're at the desk, and she's
wearing braids.
Oh my gosh! If this is the funniest thing, he comments
like,
on it. And he's like, "Are you going on vacation?"
For 10 days?
He said 3 weeks, and she was like,
it 3 weeks?
She's like, I wasn't, but now let me look at my calendar.
But I love how he's conditioned to know when a black woman sits down with her braid, she about to get in the water.
But that's me today. That's why my hair is out, because today
You're gonna go get braids because you're going on vacation. Hello. Same. I'm going on vacation next week, and I called my girl, and I was like, "You gotta hook me up."
Oh man!
Now, how did you feel when you say you had a visceral reaction to certain situations? When that wrestler in Texas had to cut his dreads, or they wouldn't allow him to
I
do
was
so?
horrified, because there was nothing unsafe about his hair, untoward. Because I think that's what they tried to say, that his braids were unsafe.
Why?
And don't touch my hair.
That part.
Because the history of black people being treated like cattle, and like when you were on the auction block, they would pick at your hair to see if you had lice, like you were some kind of animal.
Yeah.
And people don't get that.
It dehumanizes you.
Oh my gosh, there was this lady at church, love her dearly, for years. Do not touch my hair. Oh, you got your hair done. Don't touch it. Is it yours? Don't touch it.
Is it yours?
All the time. I hate that. That upsets me. But one day I hit her.
You hit her?
I did. I popped her right in her hand.
Come on, Pop.
I gave you years of warning.
Don't touch my hair.
Don't touch my hair. And now she corrects other people when they go to reach. She's like, no, don't do that.
That's a lesson learned. That's a lesson. Come on, somebody. That's amen.
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 She's
I went to high school with a girl, an Asian, Chinese woman now, who had gorgeous, thick, bone straight hair.
Right.
I was obsessed with her. I'd never seen it before in person. And I had to physically restrain myself from reaching out and touching her hair. And when she would see my hand inching up,
right.
Don't touch my hair.
Exactly.
Ever so demurely, don't touch my hair. I'm like, please, can I just...
You know what? But I see it sometimes, and if I get my hair done and I can see the want, I will encourage them. Let me invite you into my space.
But be invited, though.
Right.
Don't intrude.
Like, they were like,
be invited.
Oh my gosh, your hair. And I'm like, yeah, it's super soft. You want to touch it? And they're like, really? And I'm like, yes.
It's a lesson learned because I went to a predominantly white high school, and the questions I would always get, especially once you have roommates, and I had white roommates, and the question was, you didn't wash your hair today?
No.
Girl, no. Once a week, twice a week. Once a week if I'm feeling saucy.
Right.
But every 2 weeks, you wash your hair, and I had to have this whole... At the time, I didn't know why I didn't wash my hair every day.
Right.
I just knew my mother was like, no, don't wash your hair every day. It's going to dry out your hair. That's all I knew.
Right.
I knew nothing about the oils and the minerals and the vitamins and all that. I had no idea. So me trying, my ignorant self, trying to educate other ignorant people about why people of color with certain hair types, 4C, 4A, 4B, even the 3s up in there somewhere, don't wash their hair every day. My daughter, who has beautiful, gorgeous, natural curls, I tell her all the time, don't wash your hair every day.
Right.
And it took her to start reading for herself to be like, Mommy, you were right.
Yep. Oh, she says you were right? That's magical.
I mean, listen, twice a year maybe.
Hey, but you hear it.
But I take it.
I hear it.
But I take it.
Oh, we might have to do a part two of this.
And please send us some comments and some stories. Speaking of my cousin, who has been going to the same stylist for years. I went to her stylist for a while before we butted heads, and I had to drop her. This is what I mean when I say it's a religion for us, right? Because my cousin and her stylist don't get along. They front like they're friends.
I can't.
They pretend like they're friends, but deep down, people in the back know you only tolerate this woman because she keeps you snatched, right?
Right.
So every time she goes to get her hair done, because she has to pass me, now she lives in upstate.
Wow.
She comes to Jersey to get her hair done because she hasn't been able to find a stylist up there who does her hair the way she requires her hair to be done. So she makes the trip. She comes down. She's only like 45 minutes, an hour away, but neither here nor there. She comes down here. She sits in this woman's chair. This woman aggravates her non-stop. I guarantee you there has not been one visit where she has gone and gotten her hair done where she has not sat across from me afterwards and talked about how she and this woman went back and forth. 20 years she's been going to this woman.
Stop.
She will not leave her, regardless of how aggravating this woman can be to her on occasion. She will not leave her because black women it's a religion.
This is why we need you guys to give us more comments and stories, because this I find outrageous, and we will revisit that story because I have questions.
So we can share it with some listeners, yeah.
I have questions. So on that note, what are we watching, reading, listening to?
Well, I'm watching... What am I watching? Oh, I just started watching Defending Jacob. It's old. It was on Apple TV. My girlfriend Regine pointed out to me that in the previous episodes we kept saying Apple Plus. It's not Apple Plus.
Apple TV. Thank you for the correction. Please,
Thank
if we
you.
say something wrong,
correct me.
us.
I will never feel... Look, Fallon corrects me on a daily basis. Okay?
I do. But some of the times I'm just being a jerk.
And that's okay. Because I'm learning. I'm always learning. And there's no subtlety in it. She's like, no, girl, you're pronouncing that wrong.
But if you make up a new word, I back it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, troglodyte.
No, that's not made up.
I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that's a real word. Apple TV, not Apple Plus. I think we combined Disney Plus and Apple TV.
We sure as heck
to
did.
get Apple Plus, which to me it's all the same. But anyhow, I'm watching Defending Jacob with the gorgeous gorgeous Chris Evans. Sometimes it's hard to get into the story. I'm just watching him.
Right.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what words are being said because I'm just looking at him and I'm like, oh, his eyes, his eyelash. Okay, but anywho, it's a great story from what I can remember.
Stop it.
Having not upset. As my girlfriend and I sat down here yesterday because I did her hair. Thank you. I do her hair. Speaking of hair. And we just sat here and we were like, oh my God, Christopher Jamal Robert Evans, we love you.
Stop it.
But it's also a really good story.
That's fantastic.
So that's what I'm watching.
I haven't committed to anything recently.
Okay.
I'm living on YouTube right now and going down rabbit holes of old movies and shows I used to watch.
For example?
So New Rockstars, they are entertainment journalists.
Okay.
And they do Easter egg stuff.
Ooh, I love that.
Oh, then you need to...
Okay.
MCU, they did one on Back to the Future because they have like a new, channel called The Deep Dive where they rip apart, like it's an hour of them ripping apart.
See, I can get into that.
Oh my gosh. And Eric Voss, I love him. I love his energy. I love his voice. I love like all the information that I didn't notice and I didn't see. And he was doing one about WandaVision.
Okay.
Which was so good. If you haven't seen WandaVision.
I've seen WandaVision.
Yeah. Where there's one scene where Vision... sorry, spoilers, y'all. If you didn't watch it, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
If you didn't watch it, shut the podcast off or mute it for the next minute and then bring it back up.
Right. So, he's seeing that the Hex, he's seeing something's wrong, and they're supposed to be in their sitcom life, and he cuts his eyes over, and he looks directly at us, and that was something I saw the first time I watched it, and got
Did
chills.
he break the fourth wall?
He did, and hard, but it's a split second. But when he does it, it's so unsettling.
So subtle.
But Eric Voss, he didn't see it until like his fourth viewing, and I'm like, Eric, how did you miss this?
Yeah.
I'm like, guy, oh, it's so good. So New Rockstars.
New Rockstars is the name of the channel.
It's on YouTube. Yep.
Okay.
And The Deep Dive is another one of their channels, which is the Back to the Future one. It's really good. And they have the Break Room, which I haven't really gotten into. Jessica Clemens, we miss you. All right.
Okay. My husband watches YouTube all the time.
All the time.
So, and MCU, he's a huge comic book fan.
He and I need to talk.
You do. We need to do an episode on comic books.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started.
And have him and my girlfriend Regine, because they're both really into that.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Once we get some more mics, we're going to have some guest stars coming.
We're going to do it up, y'all.
Going to have some guests. And are you listening to anything?
No, okay. I'm a lazy bum.
Okay.
K-pop. Still BTS.
Still BTS.
Forever and ever.
Okay.
V just dropped 2 new music videos.
Don't know who that is, but I'm going to take your word for it.
Kim Taeyong. Oh.
Sure.
He's on my mug.
Is he?
He is. I got a mug in Japan that has a Korean pop star on it.
Love it.
Because that is Fallon. It's so on brand.
It is. It really, really is.
Yeah. Love you, V. All right. That's all I got for today.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of No Roadmap with Tasha and Fallon. Be sure to tune in for the next one. Check us out on IG on No Roadmap Pod. And
we're starting to pop up on all the streaming
platforms. Spotify,
iHeartRadio,
iTunes,
Apple. Yep, Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, let's get that right because we got the last one wrong.
Sorry about that. Apple Podcast.
Yeah, so check us out, guys.
Yes. But until next time.
See you later.
Be awesome.
Yes, be awesome.
Don't be a jerk.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to No Roadmap with Tasha and Fallon. Follow us on IG at No Roadmap Pod. Send us your questions, ideas, and reactions. Tell us all the things because we're going to tell you all the things. Until next time, bye.